So this is the overview for week 12. We'll be covering chapter 13, Theories of Personality. And I've put a to-do list here for you all, which involves first watching this podcast. Great start, guys. And then next reading the chapter, potentially also listening to the audio of the chapter, looking over the lecture slides, which are below, watching the Lecture Burst podcasts as you need to. There's 4 different ones shown by topic. So here I'm going through the lecture slides and I'm touching on just these topics within each short lecture podcast. So if you don't want to listen to them, you don't have to, but if you feel like the extra help would be good for you, then by all means do so. Then you're reading your Hawk 8.2. You're watching all the videos embedded in the reading in your text, e-text, as well as the ones I've put below for you. And then you're submitting your homework via the reading response assignment tab below. And you're contributing to this week's discussion board, which I'll show you in a minute. Taking exam 4, which is going to cover chapters 8, 12, and 13. And then I have an extra credit opportunity. So here are the learning objectives for chapter 13. We're going to be moving through talking about heredity on personality, Freud's theory on personality, dealing with psychoanalysis, then moving into the humanistic and behavioral perspectives of personality, and then into trait theory and personality. So you can use these objectives to guide your learning of the material and as a sort of study guide as you move through the material. Here's the interactive lecture PowerPoint that if you do this in presenter mode, it will walk you through the lecture slides, and there's videos embedded that you can watch throughout as you do that. And then here are my slides, which correlate to these lecture bursts podcasts right here. I'm basically walking you through these slides. I've posted 2 videos for you. One has to do with Freudian psychoanalytic view and psychoanalysis of personality, and the use of projective tests like Rorschach. And then this one has to do with how do we measure personality in other ways, looking at a variety of different measures that are used in assessments for personality. So these are quick videos. They're kind of fun and engaging, as you know if you've been watching them. Your discussion this week has to do with taking this personality test and then talking about the results. So something fun, something different to gauge your participation this week. All you have to do is take this test, keep track of your results, and then answer these questions, and then you get credit for participation this week. Your homework is, as usual, the same Hawk structure we've been doing all along. The reading this week is 8.2, and it's all about the use of defense mechanisms by the ego, that construct of our unconscious minds that Freud said drives a lot of our behavior. So you're going to be reading the study and answering these general questions like we've been doing all semester long. And when you answer, you're going to click into here. You're just going to click right in and submit your answers via that homework tab. Here's the extra credit. It just has to do with some more work on defense mechanisms. It's a worksheet. I've attached the worksheet here, and you can fill it out. There's different examples given, and you're supposed to say which defense mechanism is being used in each example. So you can use your textbook or you can use the Hawk book to help you, but you might want to save it and use it as a test to see, do you really know these defense mechanisms? When you feel like you have a good understanding of them and you kind of know what they are, try doing this worksheet without using your book and see how you do. And then lastly, and it's not showing all of this, but when you go in here it will, your exam, which is going to cover chapters 8, 12, and 13. So that's development, social psych, and personality. Again, it's 40 questions, but I know that this is your first online exam. So, you know, some of you may or may not be as familiar with it. 40 questions, I'm giving you 60 minutes to complete it, which is more than you would get in class. I want to kind of give you guys a little bit of leeway there to get used to the new platform. The exam is open. So as soon as you can open this week's tab and get into all this stuff, the exam's open. It doesn't close until Sunday, the 12th at 11:59 p.m. But once you click into the exam, you need to complete it. So you can't start it, stop it, and then come back to it. Okay, the questions are going to appear all on one screen. You can go back and forth, change your answers as you go. You can use your notes in your book too on this. I'm allowing you to do that. However, just keep in mind, the more you rely on your notes in your book, it's going to eat up your time. And so you might have trouble getting through the questions in 60 minutes. So the longer you take looking up questions, you know, the more your time's going to run out. But I'm hoping that this will help ease some of the anxiety of the online format for some of you, and you can use it sort of as a come in the clutch type of thing. That's pretty much how it's going to look. When you take the exam and your 60-minute time limit is reached, the exam will shut off automatically right where you're at. So if you haven't finished, it'll lock you out. So make sure to leave yourself the full 60 minutes to take the exam. If you take it too close to 11:59, when 11:59 happens on the 12th, it's going to close you out too. Okay, so whichever comes first. So you want to just make sure you're not cutting it too close to this final time that the exam closes. That way you have the full 60 minutes to take the test. After the exam period has ended, you'll be able to go into your My Grades tab way up here, and you'll be able to find the exam and click into it and see how you did and what you missed, and there'll be some feedback there about missed questions. So, but you can't do that until the exam is closed. So if you decide to take the exam earlier, like Friday or Saturday, you're going to have to wait until Sunday after this exam period's over to be able to access that feedback. So I hope that all makes sense. I know some of you are still getting used to the online platform. I tried my best to keep it as simple and streamlined as possible, really outlining for you each step of the way what needs to be done to help keep you organized. If you have questions or you're uncertain of what to do, please email me sooner rather than later so that I can help you. Feel free to talk to each other too. In the discussion section here, if you click on discussions, you'll see Student Lounge. You can click in there. It's empty now, but you can create a thread and pose a question to a classmate or someone in the class. You can talk to each other here. You can share ideas, try to study together or something like that. But just wanted you to know that that's there for you should you need to access it, okay? Otherwise, where we're at, usually where you're going to be going is right into week 12, okay? I hope everyone has a really good week.